Hello everyone, totally YGO here, and I'm just got top 8 at the Gamers World OTS Championship in Schaumburg, Chicago, and I think it went over pretty well. Ended up giving away the win to someone who needed their invite. So legal placement was around 5'8". First off, before we get to the deck profile, let's get through my shout outs. Shout out to all the Crispy Kabungas, but especially Cody, Bernard, Juno, Don, Nikhil, and Caesar for all coming with me to the event. It was a great time. All of you were just awesome there, and I appreciate all that you do for me. Let's get started on the deck profile now. So, as you saw in the thumbnail and probably the title, I'm playing Malice. Deck felt really good today. Field Center and Token, shout out to the people who gave me these. So, first card, Dormouse. She's the best starter in the deck. I really like Dormouse. Dormouse is a really good card. Dormouse is awesome. The way she was able to banish from deck and the 600 boost always comes up for game, especially if you just can have Crypto GWC06 with the boost. It actually always makes the game. All right, now I got the card flicking out of the way for the people who love to see that. 3 White Rabbit, another really great card. She's not the best starter, but but the thing is like, you really like her effect resolving. I mean, if you want to know who's Dormouse, you should know Dormouse. Like, I remember one time I opened like Bestial and the Rabbit, and my friend's like, oh, you should know more the Rabbit. But no, I want her effect to resolve more. I want the trap set. Because like the trap helps play around more, because like I can set the GW6 to play around Nibble, I can set the TB11 immediately, so my ransom or binder will always be protected. Like, it's very good. So she's definitely a really strong card. Played 2 Chessie. This is the first time in a while I haven't played 3, and every time I play the Bestial variant, I'm always playing 3 because every Bestial makes her a starter. So I was like, oh, why would I not play 3? But 2 felt fine. I only bricked once, and it was my very well. That's not 100% true. The main time I bricked was twice. Was my one match where I was against Sword Soul, and I bricked games 1 and 3, and yeah, he just kind of blew me out. He was a chill guy, so I'm not mad at him though. Cat's very good. The draw comes up with Firewall. 3 Field Spell and Terraforming, all really great cards. I have some people cutting Terraforming, and I just think that's crazy. I mean, it's just another starter. And like, I'd always rather open like Terraform. Okay, I wouldn't rather open Terraforming over Gold Sock, but there are some situations where I would, because having the field spell, being able to banish or like link from your grave is better than just banishing a guy from deck, in my opinion. But that's all for later turns. All the traps, you gotta play all the traps. You always side out MTP07 going second, and honestly, a lot of the time I side out TB11 too. Like, going second, you really just need GWC06. And so honestly, like, usually when I'm going second, I end up missing MTP more than I miss TB11, which I'm sometimes leaving in. So honestly, you can totally just side onto GWC06 and it's gonna feel great. Like, anytime you're going second, you should be setting GWC06 in my opinion. I mean, there's some very specific scenarios where you wouldn't, like, the only time this comes up is if you have like just Rabbit, but in my opinion, if you open just Rabbit, it doesn't matter how many hand traps you have, like, anything stops you. Anything stopping you. So at that point, you weren't gonna win anyway. Gold Sulk, it is just a really strong starter. It is a better starter than Terraforming is. That's one thing I'll give credit for, but overall, it's not the best card. But you still have to play it, in my opinion. Now, the best cards in the deck. The reason why I probably won today, I played 1 Mag, 3 Druis, 3 Baldrake, and 3 Serenir. All amazing. Anytime I drew a Bestial, I felt like I was winning, and I was drawing a fuck ton of them. Because, I mean, I played 10 of them. No Lubellions in here. Lubellion's terrible. But all of these guys are just so crazy. They make every Malice just such a strong combo. The Dormouse plus Bestial combo is super strong and plays through hand traps like it's nothing. So yeah, I would 100% recommend playing Bestials. Like, at the very minimum, I think every Malice player should be playing 7. I think like these guys are like, well, sorry, 6. I think like these 4 are like super mandatory, but like I do think this is the strongest person in the deck right now by a mile. So I would 100% play these. I played 3 Effect Veiler, 3 Ash, and 3 Fuelos, and 3 Nibiru for my hand trap lineup. All of these were really good. I saw in a top cut video that someone who won a regional was playing Veiler over Imperm because you can do while your Bestial's on board. and because it's a Metaltronics target for Blue Eyes, and I'm just like, that is such an amazing idea. So yeah. Also, you'll notice a lot of similarities between my list and Topcut's list because I did get a lot of my inspiration from the deck list from there. So shout out to them as well. But yeah, this was all really good. Nib felt better than I expected, and Valor honestly felt really good too. Like the Metaltronics thing never came up, but honestly, it would have come up if we didn't just scoop from the amount of stuff I had already. Plus, Fuelos is undoubtedly like the best card like ever right now. And finally, three Metatronus. I love this card. This card's amazing. It's better than Ultimate Slayer. It's so good going first. It's so good going second. If you're link locked and you need to beat a detonator, you can summon Nib. It's just so powerful. It stops normal summons. Like it's like if you need it to be input, it can be input, and it just beats a lot of like really weird stuff. Like let's say if you're going second, like this came up today, if you're going second and need a way to beat a light dark Chaos Angel because you decided on MTP07, you can Metaltronus this. You can Metaltronus the Chaos Angel and summon the Bow. So you can actually get through stuff that you think you can't pretty easily with Metaltronics. You just have to be like really creative. Like another one, this didn't come up today because I didn't play enough Blue Eyes, but you can go and then testing it came up because you go like Metaltronics like Ether Barrel and like summon Nightmare Service. Let's move on to the extra deck now. Only Link when I play is Link Decoder. I don't know if I do this again. Was originally gonna play Link Decoder, sorry, Lingaribo, but my friends told me that like he's not like super good. The Malice Mirror doesn't really win, even though it turns out that GWC06, because like a bow plus Griffin slash Firewall is already pretty tough. And I'm like, I get it. I think they're right, but like, I don't know. I do kind of miss the Ling sometimes. Cerberus is just better than Phoenix with Hats playing Chaos Hunter. I think Chaos Hunter is a terrible card because of this and Metaltronus. So because by the way, Metaltronus summoned Jerusalem or something like any Bestial beats it. So yeah, Cerberus is really strong for that, and also anything co-linked to it cannot be destroyed by card effects. Honestly, I think that's worse than the co-linked effect of Phoenix, where it can't be destroyed by battle. But sometimes it just be how it be. Splash Mage, you have to play it. A lot of people were cutting this a while ago, but now it's Mando. It makes Field Spell. Like one card combo makes Gold Sock, one card combo. It's a really decent extender. And it's not like, and if you go through Splash Mage, it's not like you're ending on a bad card in Firewall Dragon. This card's actually super good. Anytime I summoned it, it felt great. Haggard, you have to play it. Mandatory. It makes Dormouse a one card combo, makes Rabbit a one card combo. I mean, like Splash Mage technically does the same thing, but it Cyber Stalks you. Dog the Dog Charmer didn't really come up today. There was only one time I could have summoned it, and I just didn't think it was worth it. That's probably because I didn't play a Malice Mirror, and I played one Ryzeal guy, and it was the guy in Top Cut who I gave the win to after demolishing him. Masquerena Little Knight. Little Knight is an amazing extender. I think I used her more as an extender today than something to break boards with. And Mask is supposed to be a plant under Charmies, but under Charmies, I was just making Crypto. Crypto is just so much better usually. But I don't know. I still think these were both really good. Even though I didn't summon Mask a single time, I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I didn't summon Mask at all. But it came up in testing, so like there's sometimes you can only get two bodies on board and you want to Bestial your Rabbit, and the Rabbit can set like MTP07 or probably GWC06 or whatever, and then make Hearts Crypto, so it's not bad. Plus it could just make Little Knight if you don't have proper resources. Definitely is good around hand traps. The only link threes you need to play are obviously these three. If I have to give the props, the best card in my deck today, it is Sultan by far Crypto. Like, but I probably summoned her more than any other card because of how much I was getting Charmy. If you were going second, she might be the only link that comes out of your extra deck, apart from like Access and Link Dakota, because she's just such an amazing card. Summons back with double attack, can't be negated. Someone did improve this, and I summoned something towards column today. They just believe me though, so we didn't have to call a judge about it. So it was really cool. Red Ransom and White Binder are also really amazing. Binder is best for the Dormouse one code combo, but honestly, you play so many extenders that like Dormouse one code combo isn't even a real combo because you just never see it. Like it's just so fake. But it is, and Ransom also comes up. Every effect of Ransom comes up. Where you just get the follow-up that you can just pitch off a bow if you don't need it, or just like the banishing. You don't play Dot Scaper, but like it doesn't really matter, honestly. just really amazing. Also, the attack point swap is really relevant. And another really relevant thing is all the little ones effects, but especially Dormouse and Rabbit when it comes to protection from destruction by card effects and destruction by battle, while this one is banished whatever monster it attacks. But the better one I'd probably say is Dormouse most of the time because you don't know what your opponent's doing. But I'd say the card effect one is also really the battle one is also really well. Access code Talker. Funny enough, you don't really need it. If you summon it, often you're playing into Nib, and and if Dormouse resolves, one crypto plus set GWC06 with like a rabbit or a cat engrave is just game. I'm pretty sure it has to be cat actually. Cat engrave or banish GWC06 and a crypto is just game on board. Like it's so crazy. This code's so much better than access code for OTKing. But like access code still eats boards, and like sometimes if they survive your OTK, you can like start rebuilding your board around it and put like a firewall here. Speaking of, I think the best link for today was probably Firewall Dragon. Undoubtedly, believe me, bro, it's Firewall. You gotta believe me. Okay. This code is so amazing. Every effect comes up regularly. There's some really cool times where like they try to out it or like they either go like impermit, and I'm just like, oh cool, I'll go firewall, target 2 Bystials in my graveyard and add them back to my hand. So that's pretty crazy. It's pretty much free bounces. Plus, in the combo I was doing, again, shout out to topcut for like showing me that combo, which I thought was really nice, where you can add back cards in your combo, then link it away for a bow, and then a bow summon it back, and it's going to summon here, so it's already calling. And now it's a new, fresh copy, so its effect is online again. Unbelievably strong as just an endboard piece, as an extender, because the summon from effect, the summon cycle is really good because you can add it back to your hand. Amazing card, just amazing card, and a bow to another really good card. She is kind of susceptible to cards like Ogre and Nibiru, which I did get Ogred on her today when trying to summon back Firewall, so my only thing was GWC06, and then if they had Bell, I was cooked. Said not me, I had a Bystial in hand. But still, what I'm trying to say is, a bow is really good, but she definitely shouldn't always be your plan, because like a lot of the time people would go for like, you'd have like a small name, usually Chessie here, and then you'd have the Nightmare Cerberus, and then from here you just link all of these into a bow. But a lot of the time I think it's a lot safer and even a lot better because it plays into less is Cryptor, because then if they try to nib you in response to a bow or ogre, or if they save your ogre for a bow, it's going to get no value now, because even if they nib this into main, you're just going to banish it off a binder. So if they're holding stuff for a bow, you can punish people really bad with Cryptor. But I think that's one thing that's kind of like a skill check. If you think your opponent's good enough to hold their cards with something like this, then you can definitely punish them by ending on Cryptor instead of a bow. That never really came up though, but that is something that came up while testing. So definitely something to keep in mind here. Damn, I'm yapping a lot about the extra, sorry. 2 more cards. Horizon Detonator for what's it called? For Metaltronus. I heard someone say that you don't need it because you can just Metaltronus for Nib, which works really well, like 95% of the time. Well, I'll say like 50% of the time, because if they don't have a duo drive on board with material, then it doesn't matter. But a lot of the time, you want to do banish it face down, because even though you do get the free body, cross is on usually. I mean, sometimes you'll interrupt the duo, and that's a different story. But if they have cross, then you should not banish it face. You should banish it face down, unless they have a dual drive with a material on it, because then it doesn't matter. You prefer the free body. Yeah, one thing about Metaltronus too is if you're against something like Ryziel and you target it and you have Metaltronus, I see some people trying to like hold it as long as possible, but there's really no point to this. Like they want to like try to chain it in response to the detonator. I think it's because like they think that they're gonna play differently if they immediately Metaltronus, which is true, because like they'll try to hold hand traps, but this is a really good Ash check because they have to Ash this. And you might say, oh, I'll start with something they want to Ash, but like if you start with like terraforming or something, they're realistically not gonna ash it because like detonator already beats it. And like that, so I would say you should usually be starting with Metatronus. Summon detonator, banish it face down a lot of the time. So yeah, never really came up because again, you played enough Ryzio, but against the one Ryzio I drew it against it, his guy evaporated. And finally, Goblin's Crazy Beast. Was really excited to play this card. Again, shout out to topcut for this idea, because I really thought this card was it under Ryzel. It summons itself back for free from the graveyard, so it's a free body, along with the fact that it immediately eats cross and can rip 2 materials off detonator if they don't cross negate it. And also it's Dingirsu. Like that seems it's so crazy in the Ryzel board. If you have just 2 bestials, which is going to happen very often. But again, I didn't play enough Ryzel. But I'm not going to tell you the card's bad because I really didn't summon it though. I think this is one of those cards where like test it by yourself if it's for you, because this is realistically a cuttable card. I do also think it's very funny that nowadays Maliss is a much less tight extra deck than than Ryzel, because everyone thought the Cyber deck would obviously have a more tight one, but that was not the case. Finally, side deck, I played 3 Perulia, and I played 3 Nihilus. Or Meowls, sorry. I don't, everyone calls it Meowls now, but Nihilus is a so much better name. Really amazing, all of these. I just loved having more cards in my hand. Having more cards in my hand, and even if I was like weakening the end board by like the slightest, tiniest amount, it was just always worth it. Plus, a lot of the matchups, like Blue Eyes, for example, summons out of their graveyard a decent amount of times, and they summon from hand, and they summon from extra deck, or like I'm hitting against Memento. There are just some matchups where I can just throw every single one in there, and then that just feels so good because I'm constantly going to be drawing. It is kind of sad to brick on them, but like, especially like, I think Fuelos is okay to main. I don't think it's okay to main many more of these, but still really strong cards. Lance did slide it in today, but it was not for Maliss, it was for Crystron. Against Crystron, I pretty handily cleaned him up game 1. Game 2, I bricked. He set up a few guys and then lanced me too. And I won that game. Because eventually I drew Dormouse, and that one Dormouse would beat Fenrir Birth because he didn't get greedy and banished the thing face down. So, and then eventually I nibbed him, and then on res of the nib I lanced him because I needed the nib to resolve, or else I'd die. And then he started fumbling under the lance because he'd go like Fenrir attack nib, try banish face down, you're under lance. So he crashes it. Then he goes wanted, draw, you're under lance. Lance is really good in a lot of situations that people don't even realize. Dominus Impulse. This is a card I originally was not playing. I was playing 1 called by 2 talents in this place. Again, top cut list. But I really hated that. I just didn't like called by as a card. Like every time, like at that point, like a lot of the time I wasn't comfortable siding it and going second and going first. It also like it was fine. I think going first is like the only thing that was good, but like the thing is like people start charming and standby, and like they'll imperm your normal summon, and then sometimes they're gonna start holding Ash for like MTP07, and then like Nib Ogre saved for like a bow and stuff. And like again, if you make the Crypto to punish that, then your Talents is live. So you actually should be making a bow if you have Talents in hand, because you can punish them with Talents. Well, punish your punish. But yeah, I think Dompulse is way better. Honestly, I very famously I called it a terrible card at my locals because my friend hit me with it. I was trying to Maliss it with DK. I was like, no way you're on this dog shit. But no, it's a good card. It's a really strong card. Dompulse is amazing. Then finally, Solemn Strike. I didn't resolve it too many times today, but every time I did, oh boy, was it feeling good. I got a lot of Solemn Strikes resolved on me though. That didn't feel great. But a lot of people were striking my normal summon, which is just a terrible idea. You should always hit a link 3. And yeah, that is pretty much my deck list. I don't think I have many complaints. If anything, I might cut the IP, or maybe try without the Crazy Beast. Maybe you don't have to play all these chummies. But overall, I was very happy with the list. And I think that's pretty much all I have to say. So thank you all so much for watching, and totally YGO signing out.